Hey, what's up guys? Thank you for checking out this video. Back in the day, I used to have a series on my channel where I talked about awkward situations I've had in my life because while I've had a fairly boring 25 years on this earth, I've definitely had my fair share of awkward moments. I'm extremely tall, and I was the last one of my friends to grow pubic hair. Maybe not the last one, but my friends and I were comparing our pubic hair in a Taco Bell in 2002 because iPhones hadn't been invented yet, and I specifically remember not having much to bring to the table as far as pubic hair was concerned. Needless to say, we all have these experiences we look back on and think about from time to time, and I miss having a series on my channel where I can just talk to you guys and tell stories from my life and read stories from your life. Comment feedback really drives videos like this because the best part about uploading these types of videos is reading the comments afterwards. But seriously guys, if you have something to share, please do. You might see it in my next episode of whatever this is. I don't know if I even want to title it like it's a series. The title will either be some form of awkward situations to attract the most loyal of my dwindling following to a series they once loved, or The Time I Got Robbed, in all caps, to attract mostly scarce, but other people too. So anyways, let's talk about the time I got robbed. I do want to warn you, it's a pretty lame story. If you stuck around through my rambling long enough to make it to this part of the video, I have to admit to you that this robbery does not involve rape or nudity of any form. There was a weapon involved, but it wasn't a gun, and unfortunately, I didn't die. It happened in October of 2002. I can't remember if it was before or after the pubic hair thing, but it was the second to last time I went trick-or-treating. I went trick-or-treating for the final time in 2003, partially because of this incident, and partially because I was almost 6 feet tall when I was 13, so the adults handing out candy looked at me like I was some pedophilic adult who couldn't grow facial hair and had a fetish for kids in costumes. But back to 2002. I decided I wanted to be a werewolf that year. My mom even put makeup on me to make me look more intimidating, which would really backfire when I became a robbery victim 3 hours later. My trick-or-treating partner for the evening was my friend. Let's call him Dave, because that's his fucking name. Just kidding, it's not. I don't want to mention his name because he was also involved in the pubic hair thing at Taco Bell, and I want to protect the identities of the people involved in that incident. So Dave and I were professional trick-or-treaters. We had a plan to go to the nicest subdivisions in the city to get as much candy as possible. It was like Wolf of Wall Street for two people who hadn't seen a woman naked yet. Before I go any further, I should mention that the town I grew up in is extremely safe. I know Michigan gets a bad rap for being dangerous, and it is in some areas, but the high school in my hometown is one of the higher-ranking high schools in the state, and there's only been one murder in my town in the past 25 years. Well, 2 if you count what I've done to this YouTube channel. But yeah, it's safe and for the most part upper middle class. We hit the road around 6 o'clock and things were going great. We were using king-size pillowcases to hold our candy, and by the end of the night they would be nearly full. I don't know why I remember this, but on this really nice street, there were 4 houses in a row that handed out regular-sized candy bars, and that was one of the happiest moments of my life up until that point. If you hand out regular-sized candy bars on Halloween, you're the real MVP. Skip ahead to the end of the night, we have pillowcases full of sugary goodness. We could have just gone home at this point, but my friend and I decided to get greedy. I don't remember whose decision it was, but it was a bad decision to say the least. We went to a neighborhood that was pretty nice, but it was next to kind of a rundown part of town near a large swamp and some train tracks. I feel like every semi-small town has that road that you don't want to be on after dark, that road that you hear is haunted or weird shit happens here. It's usually something like Chestnut Street or maybe a really old-timey name, Norman Street, something like that. This was that road. So of course, we're walking down this road in the dark, one of us is wearing makeup, and a group of 3 people start following us. I don't know specifically when they started following us, but they were older than us, maybe 15 or 16, and they caught up to us pretty quickly. We probably should have ran when they yelled "hey" from about 5 feet behind us, because when strangers do that on the street, it usually isn't because they want to give you a free iPod or a Starbucks gift card, but needless to say, we decided to turn around and assess the situation. The leader of this group of guys looked like Ja Rule, but with hair. I didn't get a good look at his friends because they had sweatshirts on, but if you need a visual for the story, they also looked like Ja Rule. When I caught this dude's eyes, it was very clear to me that he wasn't going to be friendly. Although I was as tall or slightly taller than he was, I'm pretty sure I weighed 75 pounds at this point, and I was wearing makeup. So he was definitely not as intimidated by me as I was by him, and I really fucking regretted letting my mom apply the makeup at this point. Also, the dude had a knife. It wasn't like a machete, it was like a bigger Swiss Army knife. And for the record, I never felt like he was going to stab us over some pillowcases full of candy. I think he was just holding it to look cool. I used to carry a lighter around, but I never smoked. I guess I just wanted it in case shit needed to be lit on fire, but mostly just to look cool. Or so I thought at the time, as a kid. That's the vibe I got from this dude. He was holding the knife to look cool. But it also worked as intimidation. It's a weapon. This is when shit got real. He told us to hand over our bags of candy. We both kind of froze because neither of us had ever been in a situation like this before. And I just have to say that this dude was smart. He probably could have cured cancer if he really applied himself in life. I mean, he just sat around with his buddies in his house, probably playing Nintendo 64 or some shit, waited until close to the Halloween curfew, and then walked outside with his friends looking for dudes with makeup on their face who would be easy robbery victims. Then boom! Candy for a month with zero effort. What happened next was one of those moments that could only happen with a very good friend. We both knew what we were going to do without having to say it out loud to each other. Without replying to Harry Ja Rule's request for our candy, we turned and ran. I dropped my bag of candy as a sacrifice to the Halloween thugs, similar to how in The Walking Dead, the fat people will be sacrificed to the zombies, and then the rest of the more athletic people who decided to stay in shape for the zombie apocalypse will get away. My friend decided to keep his bag, though, so that was good. We didn't waste that entire night on just getting no bags of candy. We ran track, and I think we both inherently knew that dudes in sweatshirts were not going to chase two adrenaline-filled children, one of whom was wearing makeup, down the street for an extra bag of candy. We eventually made it to my friend's house who lived nearby, and we hung out there for a while until our parents came to pick us up. Like I said, no one was raped and I didn't die, but that was the last time I wore makeup. I wish I knew what happened to Harry Ja Rule, but cancer still exists, so I'm sure he didn't turn his life around. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and if you would like more videos like this, please let me know by leaving a comment because, like I said, it would really help me to make these videos if I could react to your stories and situations as well. When I look back on my life, I feel like I have a total of 5 story-worthy things that happened to me. I don't even know if this is one of those things, but I just think about this event every time we get close to Halloween because it was the most interesting Halloween that I have had up to this point in my life. For, not necessarily positive reasons, but I just think of that story. I was technically robbed. So if you have any stories or anything you guys want to share, let me know. I'm eternally jealous of people who can turn mundane events into interesting stories, so I'll try to rack my brain for some other kind of decent things that have happened to me. And if you guys like this, I'll definitely keep doing it. So thanks for watching, guys. Until the next video, have a great day.